Good morning. I'm Pastor Steve Prickett of the Warwick Christian Fellowship. Welcome to our devotional time today. I'm glad you're with us. I want to share a devotion with you. I read a few devotionals during my day. One of my read is Morning by Morning and also Morning and Evening. The morning one is the same by Charles Spurgeon. I also read My Utmost for His Highest by Oswald Chambers. I would recommend either of those if you get a chance, but I want to read you something from Oswald Chambers from August 4th. And I thought it was pretty good, so I thought it would be good to share. Usually I do my own devotionals mornings, but I want to share this one because I think it's good to hear. Whether I say it or somebody else says it, the truth is the truth, and it's good for us to hear. And Oswald has taken a verse out of Luke 18:31. It says, "Then he took unto him the 12." And I want to kind of paraphrase what he wrote a little bit. He says, how brave it is for God to trust in us. And you say, but he has been unwise to choose me because there's nothing of value in me. I'm not that good. That is why he chose you. It's not because you are good, it's because of what he can do through you. If you think God chose you because of something you can do, then you will fail. See, pride will get in your way. You will think that you have accomplished it. There are many things in my life that God has called me to do that I knew nothing about. When God chooses to use you, he already has a purpose and a plan. God will equip you for what he's got to do, and then he gets the glory. Many times in life, things are going to come to you in your church where you serve, and if you're in a church, you should have an area to serve. And if God gives you something to do, you say, well, I don't know anything about that. But God keeps it in front of you. You see this need in your church. When you see a need, it's probably because God is revealing it to you that you can do something with it, that he can use you through this need to accomplish his purpose. And he will equip you and prepare you to get the glory. You don't have to rush into it. You can ask people, you can get advice, you can do a lot of things, but you need to do what God has given you to do. So many times I've tried to do stuff on my own that I thought was a good thing to do without even consulting God, and I've watched it fail. Trying different programs in the church that didn't last. I couldn't figure out why. Why didn't let God lead? When we think that we have a certain talent or gift, we have a tendency on our own that we can mess it up. If God reveals something in your church, just pray about it and let him lead you through it, and he will get the glory. That's how it's supposed to work. What a lot of Christians do, and I've been a pastoring for about 30 years, people will see a need of the church. They will come to me and say, Pastor, you know what needs to be done here? And I'm like, well, will you please tell me? Because what they're really saying is, Pastor, you know what you need to do now? Well, everybody in the church can do something, but not one person can do everything. So if God reveals something in a church that's a need, maybe he's doing it so that you can do it. And you may say, well, I don't know anything about that. Well, that's where you learn. That's where you grow. That's where God can use you. Study the scriptures. Seek advice from other Christians. And don't be afraid to take it on, realizing that God can do things through you that you cannot do on your own. We think a lot of times our natural ability makes us a good Christian. A good Christian is not determined by his natural ability, but determined by his availability to avail himself to God so that God can work through him. We don't always know what God is after, but if you maintain a relationship after he takes you through that, you'll begin to understand. God can use you if you avail yourself to him. Just be willing to follow him. In the book of Isaiah, when he saw God exalted high on in chapter 6, he pleaded and confessed his sin. He said, I'm a man of unclean lips. He was healed of that. And God said, who shall we send? Isaiah just started shouting, here I am, send me, I'm here. And he made himself available. He didn't even know what the task was, but he was willing to go. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to let God say, who do I send? Are you willing to say, send me? And if you are, he can use you. See what God is sending you to do, and then step forward and do it. I hope this is helpful to you. I kind of started with Oswald Chambers, but I kind of took off on my own a little bit with this. But I want to encourage you, step forward and serve in your church. And it may be an unknown area to you, but that's where you might excel the best as God leads you. May God bless your day. May you have a wonderful day. And please join us again tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.